So that moves us to the second Soviet reaction phase. The Soviets get to bring in a bunch of reinforcements. So it looks like they get some engineers, they get some armor, and they get some Baltic Marines. All right. So again, they can reinforce the number of units per hex there. This is a 12, but I jumped it up to an 18 because of this pontoon. I'm going to put it here just because so I can keep seeing it. Okay, so and then after I put them down, they have to immediately move. So let's get that started. I'll start by putting the tanks here where I reinforced last time. So I can put 6 units there. Got 5 tanks, and I'll throw an engineer with them. And then the rest I'll put here. So again, as soon as you place them, the trick is they have to move. So let's see what they can do. It's 2 points per heavy structure. So let me see. And it's 3 units per stack. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. Boom. So I'll do that. Whoops. And then I'll sort of I think I forgot to flip the units last time. So let me flip those units real quick. Because they flip after they move. Now this area down here. I'll do 2 Baltics and an engineer. And they can move 8, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Two, 4, 6, that's good enough. I guess even without the tweezers, huh? Okay, so that was the reinforcements there. So now let's determine how many Soviet stacks they get to move. D6 roll. They get to move 3 stacks plus the 2 near General Zhukov, which is right there. So, do I want to move any stacks within 2 hexes of Zhukov? I could move these tanks. I might as well, right? Because it seems like their threat's going to come from there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think that'll be the only ones I move. Now the other 3 stacks. Let me see who else I can bring about. I can move 3 stacks. Maybe I'll do something here. Maybe move them a little bit up here. I don't know to what end. Okay, so I'm not conducting any fights, so that now sends it back to the German side. Let's see where they can start doing stuff. Guess I'm going to keep moving in the upper left-hand corner, which is the southwestern corner of the map, just so I get that taken care of. Okay, under some of those top stacks, I've got some fired artillery. So let me start by moving this 3 stack here. I'm going to be moving on roads for a bit, so that's going to be half a movement point. 1, 2, 3. Now, they just moved into a zone of control. So let me see if I actually want to do that, because you have to stop when you do that. Oh, wait, no, it's a 2-8. So it's not a guard unit. It doesn't have a zone of control. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 4. I'm just going to go here. So I'm going to start an attack against that hex there. And now, like always, I can move units into support that can reach. Yeah, let me see what units I can bring from up here down into the fight. Again, I'm not too worried about movement points. I am counting them, as you can see, but, we're not getting close to their limits. Okay, so you notice that one thing I did is I sort of rearranged those stacks to include an engineering unit with each, because I think that's going to let them attack with their higher number when they only have 2. So let me just double check that. Yeah, the engineer is going to let them do that. So let's calculate this. Now, one thing I also can do, not only can this is, again, how you track this, might be, maybe it's a little easier if you're playing it opposed, maybe if you're only worried about one side. But so one of the other things I can do is I can also deploy artillery on this attack. So you can see like some of these units up here, they have not fired yet. So what I'm allowed to do is I'm actually allowed to move them into position and let them start fighting this turn. One of the asymmetrical things is that the Germans with deployed artillery, they can start firing whenever they're needed anywhere. The Soviets have to pick the hex that they're deployed into so that if other units move into it, then you can attack that. So it's a little bit tricky. But here we go. Actually, let me double check what the numbers mean on artillery. Okay, so on artillery, range, fire strength, movement. Okay. So I don't need to move them up because they've got the range to hit, but I'm going to do it anyway just to get them closer to other fights. Okay. I didn't leave him there because I didn't know what was going to happen with that one unit. I don't think it could move around and do much because it'd be entering zones of control, but just to be safe. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark those artillery units as deployed. So if you remember from the first session, I had the deployed units in the Chitpol Cup. That's not what they're for. This is what they're for. I'm just going to put it there next to it just so it's easier for me to read. So now what those units are able to do is they're able to participate basically in any fight this reaction phase. They're just out there lending a hand to wherever the fight goes. So if these guys can keep going somehow, then these guns can keep helping them out. Or any other attack that might happen during this reaction phase, assuming the Soviets don't get to take over. So let's start with this attack right here. Because we have artillery, we get to bombard. So let me start by figuring that out. Okay, so I guess it just becomes like a regular indirect fire attack. So first, let's see what kind of attack it is. It's a 5, which makes it a regular attack. The Soviet unit, I think, is in... Yeah, there's light structures under there, so an ambush would have been possible. So now we go and we figure out the bombardment part. You know, it's interesting. Actually, I think that German artillery can be used for the rest of the turn, not just the phase. So that's interesting. That's something I probably should have been doing more of, because then they're available for the rest of the fight. I could have probably done something with these two, bringing them down. Because it's in bombardment, we're going to be using column 4. Doesn't look like the light structures do much in terms of artillery. Okay, in that case, I think we're ready to go. So we've got 32 total. So that's going to put us on the 30 through 35 column. And I guess I just roll the d6. A 5. On the 30 through 35 column, it's going to be a 4. Okay. So that's going to eliminate the 2 units. The question is, does that create the breakthrough points? Well, I guess I still have to figure out, I can't just take them off yet. The Russians get to fight back with a 5. Let's roll that die. They get a 5 on the 5, the 4 or 5 column, which is unfortunately nothing. Okay, so the Germans go unscathed. But let me just double check breakthrough points. One thing I have been doing wrong is that the defensive fire comes first, because that can change the number for the attack column. So that's something I'll have to remember. And also this makes sense. So I don't have to worry about it in this case because the Soviets rolled a blank. But so what I would do is I would take the 32 of the artillery and I'm going to add it to the units I have on the board for Germany. Okay, so the Germans have 71 with the artillery. This is how you figure out the breakthrough. 71 is 60 through 71. It's the almost rightmost column. I'm going to re-roll because I don't remember what I rolled. I know it was enough to kill it. So I rolled a 3. That's going to be 7. Okay, so it's obviously enough to kill the Soviet units that were there. It's going to create 5 breakthrough points. So let's do that now. So that's going to be 1 breakthrough point. I'm going to initiate a fight there for 2. Now I get to move units up in support. But let me just double check if that costs breakthrough or if it's just their normal movement. I think it might cost breakthrough. So I have 2, so I'm down 7 to 5. Down to 4. 3, 2. Okay. And the attack is on that hex right there. They can continue to get artillery support from the deployed artillery. So we're still on the 71 column. Let's see what kind of attack it is. Now, the Soviets are still in light structures. The 6, so it's an ambush. Let's double check what that does. I know it helps the defense by getting a -1 to their roll. And the defense gets to choose which unit is affected by its damage. Okay, so it's only a 3, so it's going to be rolling on the 3 column. 4 goes down to 3 on the 3 column. That's going to do 1. Let's see what they want to kill. Probably one of the armor units. I'll blow up that Panzer. Okay, so the Germans were on the 71. They just lost a 6 unit. That puts them on 65, which is the same column. The roll of 3. 3. Wow, it's another 7. So that's going to move that, and then I totally blanked on this last time. I forgot to draw Soviet reaction chits. Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered last time. Now for this fight, we'll have it be that. Okay.